What's up everybody, OJ here. Welcome back to another video, and this is a big one because we have a huge rumor about the Nintendo Switch second half, games that could be coming, release dates and all of that. But once again, this is a rumor, so take it that way. Although this person has posted accurate information before, I've covered some of his stuff that he's gotten right. But once again, I just want to make sure that everybody knows rumor. So let's go ahead and get right into what he has to say here. I've got the Twitter page. Of course, I'll have a link for you guys in the description below. This is from Markomaro on Twitter, and he wants to talk about some new information here. So he says, new info before July is over. Nintendo will give an update soon about what is coming to the Nintendo Switch in late Q3 and Q4, which there already has been rumors that Nintendo's going to be having a direct in July, which we did cover on the channel. Now, besides Paper Mario, Intelligent Systems has at least 2 more games in development for 2021. So maybe we get some type of Fire Emblem Echoes older game being remade, something like that. Who knows? No More Heroes 3 likely coming in Q1 2021, so that would be a delay for the game. No More Heroes 1 and 2 are coming eventually, so maybe with the delay we get No More Heroes 1 and 2 if this rumor pans out. Now we're moving on to Metroid here, which I talked about Metroid recently in one of my videos. I had a Metroid news segment, so make sure you guys check out that. So Metroid will be a good way to start 2021. So I don't think he's talking about Metroid Prime 4, or maybe he's just talking about a video about Metroid Prime 4, or maybe it's a 2D Metroid game like I talked about in my video. Pokemon Snap will be on November 20th, 2020, internal date at the moment, which it was interesting that I suggested that Pokemon Snap would be a 2020 game, and many people were like, no, it's not 2020, but they said coming soon, so that doesn't scream to me 2021, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, since Pikmin 3 original plans are messed up, I think like messed up, they plan to reveal everything at the same time. Yes, multiple surprises about Pikmin are coming, so it's not just going to be Pikmin 3. Maybe Pikmin 4, maybe the elusive Pikmin 4 that Miyamoto revealed all those years ago, or announced all those years ago. Maybe that's finally happening. Likely no retail game on August 28th. Maybe, likely no retail game. So I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to say there, but it's there for you guys to read. Nintendo will start being aggressive from September 11th. Mostly Mario games as big hits on September and November. So they're releasing them maybe in different collections. We'll have to wait and see on that. E3 reveals to 2021. We'll have a second chance in September. So maybe another Nintendo Direct in September, or something where Nintendo has games like they did. I think it was like 2018 or whatever. They had a lot of games that were supposed to be 2019, like Animal Crossing and Luigi's Mansion, which did end up coming out in 2019, but they revealed a lot of games that were coming out in the following year. So I think that's what he's trying to say here. You will know about Zelda before summer is over, so I'm thinking he's talking about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but maybe it's a different Zelda. But there will be another thing on Zelda, maybe a trailer or something like that. And then Bravely Default, I think he's talking about Bravely Default 2. This is Bravely late September. So Bravely Default 2, which people suggested that was going to be delayed. I was like, I don't know about that. That seems like it's going to be a late summer type of game, because we get those Square Enix RPGs. We get that type of stuff like Octopath Traveler and all that, those exclusives for the Switch. We always get those in the summertime-ish. So I figured that was going to be a 2020 game based off of the demo that we got. So that is all the information that this person has wrote on there, and I want to go over a couple things. I know I chimed in with my thoughts on some of it in between, but I want to talk about this just because in general I think that a lot of this stuff, I guess if you say that, oh, he's making it up, but it seems to me like he has some pretty particular information in there. I think the thing that I'm most interested in seeing is how they do the Mario collection stuff, because people have been talking about this Mario collection. How's it going to be split up? I've seen some wild theories out there in terms of people talking about Nintendo Switch Online, and if you buy this, you get this, and all this different type of stuff. So it seems like he said like September through November, we're going to start hearing about some more of this stuff with the Mario collection. So I think what they're personally going to do is kind of bundle in multiple collections, right? So you get like 3 games per collection, and maybe there's 2 collections that come out this holiday, which you combine those 2 collections, maybe there's like 5 or 6 Mario games between them, between the collections. That would be really good. And if they put some nice work into them to where they really improve the frame rate, get the widescreen support, they get everything at 1080p 60 or whatever it is, that would be a very big and compelling holiday title. Despite them not being new games, there are so many people who have never played Mario Sunshine. There are people who haven't played Mario 64, who haven't played Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. Some people were really young when those games came out and they never got a chance to play them, or they weren't born at all in some of these Mario games when it comes to 3D Mario. So I can see Nintendo doing a nice collection for these games and them being a very big holiday type of game for them. Now, we can move on to Metroid news, because I think that Metroid's very interesting. I talked about this in my Metroid news segment, and I do feel that there's going to be multiple Metroid games within the next couple years here. I think Metroid Prime 4 is still a bit ways off. I mean, they could show us Metroid Prime 4, so maybe that's what he's talking about, starting off 2021 with the Metroid Prime 4 reveal. Or it could be a game, and I've talked about a 2D Metroid game that I feel that Mercury Steam is developing at this point, because they did such a great job with Metroid Samus Returns. So I honestly feel that we could see a 2D Metroid game revealed this year, and then maybe it launches early 2021, or maybe we get our first look at Metroid Prime 4 in early 2021 or something like that. I'm not really sure, but either way, I think it's going to be exciting and interesting for the Metroid franchise. I do want to add one more little thing when it comes to Metroid. I also think that Metroid Prime Trilogy, like I talked about in my video, that could also be something that is starting off 2021. Maybe he's alluding to that as well. Now, moving on to Pikmin a little bit here. I'm not a Pikmin fan, which I've talked about multiple times, that I'm not a big Pikmin fan, and I'm sorry to all the Pikmin fans out there, man. I don't mean any harm. I just played all of the Pikmin games beforehand, except for like the Hey Pikmin or whatever the case is, but I played like Pikmin 1, 2, I played Pikmin 3, and I tried to get into them, and I just can't with the style of game and everything like that. But the graphics in Pikmin 3 are actually really cool, and I do like the strategy and kind of like how the layout of the game is. I think it's a well-designed game. It's just not for me, so I don't know what they're going to do here. I think Pikmin 3 obviously is going to be a no-brainer. That game would look beautiful. That game already has amazing looking graphics. On the Switch, it's even going to be better. But what are the surprises with Pikmin? I mean, Pikmin 4, Miyamoto announced that so many years ago, so is it finally time to show off Pikmin 4? I would think that if there is a Pikmin 4, and if it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, it's a completely different design than what they had back when Miyamoto talked about the game or announced it. So to me, I think it's going to be something crazy, or maybe it's a whole new idea for Pikmin. Maybe it's a completely different style of game. I know they went into like the 2D platformer phase or realm or whatever it is, so maybe they kind of bring that back for the Switch or something. I'm not really sure. I don't know, but obviously there's something going down with the Pikmin franchise, and we could hear about it very soon here. Now let's talk about No More Heroes just a little bit here, guys, because No More Heroes is very interesting. I think that No More Heroes 1 and 2 coming over to the Switch, I think that's a no-brainer, right? If you're gonna have No More Heroes 3, you might as well have No More Heroes 1 and 2 as well, just so you can round things out, and maybe that's what's causing things to be 2021 for this, if this rumor is correct. Remember, this is all just hypothetically talking about these situations, guys. Nothing is confirmed as of yet. We're just talking for the sake of the video, of course. But if No More Heroes is delayed to 2021, maybe we get No More Heroes 1 and 2 this year to kind of set things up for it. But it would be interesting how those games play, because those games heavily relied upon motion controls, with the exception of No More Heroes 2. No More Heroes 2 had button controls and it had motion controls in there. A lot of people did like to play with the motion, but it was kind of like waggly, especially like the first game. No More Heroes 1 was like super waggle on the Nintendo Wii, where like you waggled for so much different stuff, and there was no actual like normal button controls for a lot of the functions like in No More Heroes 2. At the time though, No More Heroes 1 was awesome. No More Heroes 2 was great as well. No More Heroes 3 is looking really good too. So if they can get No More Heroes, the trilogy, on the Nintendo Switch, that's obviously a big win for gamers out there. Now, lastly, I want to speak on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel to Legend of Zelda. I think that I was always in the thought process that Nintendo was going to show off this game again before the end of 2020, just because they announced it back in 2019 E3. So if they weren't already hard at work and it would come out in the next couple years, you know, there's no way they would have already talked about it at this point and showed a trailer with in-game graphics and in-game engine or in-engine graphics and everything that looked absolutely amazing. And they showed Hyrule. Everything looked really good from what they showed. So they were hard at work, and they're probably just using the engine that they already used for Breath of the Wild and making upgrades and additions to it in order for it to be completely optimized on the Nintendo Switch, because the original game was a Wii U game, Wii U code being ported over to the Switch. Now they're making this a Switch game through in and through out. So to me, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a game that's had a lot of work already done on it. I think they are ready to show more on it to tease people a bit. I don't think it's going to be a 2020 game. I mean, there's always that slight, small possibility, but I don't really think it's going to be a 2020 game. I think now it's going to be a 2021 game, and maybe we get a second trailer to really show us something with this game, because that game is going to be absolutely massive. That is going to be a 20+ million seller, maybe even more, especially coming off of Breath of the Wild, the first one, because Breath of the Wild, the original, that game is probably going to get to 20 million sales plus when it's all said and done, especially after Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. People who get a Switch later are going to be like, oh, let me play the first game now too to get ready for the second game. So the sales are going to get a bump like we've seen with many other games getting sequels on the Switch. So that game, to me, is the most exciting game that I'm looking forward to on the Nintendo Switch out of everything here. But what are you guys' thoughts when it comes to all of this here with the rumors? I'd love to hear them in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay updated on all the latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.